November, I went to a couple ENT specialists. Actually, the ENT specialists figured it out. And I had a vocal polyp on my vocal cord, which wasn't from singing. It's from being silly and yelling a lot and consecutive. And then I went to a wedding, and it was a crowded Williamsburg bar, and there was, I guess, during COVID time, there were like 150 people in a small bar, and you had to yell to the next person with you, and 3 hours of that really damaged my voice. So then we had that. So then I went to Mount Sinai in the city, and they did an amazing job. Dr. Corey, shout out Dr. Corey, who did surgery on my vocal cord. And then for 2 straight weeks, I could not speak at all. And as a Hispanic, and specifically a Dominican, that was the hardest time of my life. You don't understand. I couldn't speak, nothing. And then I would speak and I would start coughing and I would get it. And I'm a very hypochondriac kind of person, so like everything worried me. Even right now I'm still worried, but it's just a lot of fighting trauma from that moment. The trauma of like thinking I'm gonna re-injure myself when I do anything. But I went to a speech therapist, and it was a lot of massaging with vocal cords and just retraining. I'm still retraining, I'm still kind of coming back from it too. And I had not taken singing seriously. They told me to sing, and I would just sing, in the car, sometimes at church. Even at church, that was probably the worst, when I couldn't sing, and it's like during corporate worship and you're just standing there like this. It was so horrible, just not being able to connect in that way, which it was a good humbling experience as well, because we shouldn't really depend on worship music or singing. It's just that I'm so passionate about it. Hello. So so that led to me reconnecting with James, and like everything kind of fell in place. I was almost gonna give up, to be honest. I was like, James got his thing going on. This Surrender's pretty set. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sell all my instruments. I do this every year. I'm selling all my instruments. I'll just pay off some debt, move on with life. I go in this struggle between quitting and music and continuing. And then, like I said, things fell into place, and then there was a spot for me to come back, and James welcomed me back with open arms. And I was still very concerned, I guess, of my voice, and just, I had not pushed it at all. I mean, I would sing Mayday Parade, just like, I had a dream last night, we drove out this, stuff like that. And even when I was singing that, like in May already, or April, May, I was working with, my falsetto was not there at all, and I was just working with the speech therapist, and they gave me exercises, which I'm still doing. So like, I still feel like I'm in recovery, and this is a good check on me as far as like keeping me accountable, because it's kind of like, do what you're supposed to do, and I've kind of shrunk away from that, especially after surgery, because I'm like, all right, I could speak for my job, because it was at that point where I could barely speak for work. As a teacher, my voice is my salary maker, so it was pretty tough. But here we are today, and as I was sharing a little bit before with our producer, they come out right out the gate. I don't know if holding back mentally or just wasn't warmed up enough. But it was definitely a little scary at first, but now I'm starting to feel warm. It's very warm in here in general. But now that I'm warmed up, I feel good. I feel like I can do something. Not amazing, but I feel like I'm in there. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
That answers my question perfect, man. That was it. Thank you, man.